Hey guys, welcome to my UFC 324 prediction video. Today we will be predicting the main card of UFC 324 plus the prelim headliner. This is the first fight card of 2026 and of the new Paramount deal. Really good card, really exciting, lots of fights to look forward to. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo headlining the prelims. I mean, that fight should probably be on the main card, but you know, that just goes to show you how good of a card it is that is on the prelims. So to kick this off, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo. I'm gonna go with Umar Nurmagomedov. I really don't see how Davison Figueiredo has a chance to win this fight. I don't see his path to victory. It's not clear to me. I don't see him knocking him out. I don't see him submitting him, and I don't see him winning a decision. So the odds are minus 1,600 for Umar Nurmagomedov. Davison Figueiredo is a plus 900 underdog. So I could see some people picking him to win, not to win, but throwing a bet on there just because he's that big of an underdog. I mean, Jake Paul was a smaller underdog against Anthony Joshua, and I was seeing that I think 90% of people were betting on Jake Paul, which ended up closing the gap, but it's just because it's such an absurd difference. I could see a lot of people putting money on Figueiredo. He was a champion. He does have power, although I don't think it has translated that well to 135. He all of his knockouts were at bantamweight. Like maybe he flukes a heel hook in a weird scramble, but I don't see it happening. There may be a few exciting moments in Figueiredo's favor. He might wobble him once or twice. He might land a big shot over the top. He might have a weird leg entanglement, and it looks scary for Umar for a couple seconds. But I think Umar's just going to dominate this fight, win all 3 rounds, win a decision. I don't really see Umar finishing him. If he stays at range, he uses his kicks. He mixes in the grappling. It's just going to be a dominant performance. I do like for Umar that he can kind of throw his kicks with impunity. He's not worried about going to the ground. So I just think the distance control, whether it's all the way in or all the way out, Umar's going to be favored. The only really sketchy area would be in that mid range where Figueiredo could land his boxing combinations, use that power that he carries. Even though he is 38, they always say the last thing to go is power. He did miss weight by a few pounds, so that's not a good sign either. I think Umar is just gonna kind of run through him. Up next, we got Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. Arnold Allen is a plus 198 underdog to Gene Silva's minus 240 favorite. I'm gonna go with Gene Silva in this one, even though he's coming off that knockout loss to Diego Lopez in, I believe, September. Obviously got spinning elbowed out cold. I'm not gonna say it was a fluke, but it was definitely a fluke. Gene Silva was winning that fight. He was looking good. He was landing his combinations, being aggressive, all those things Gene Silva's good at. Gene Silva is the more accurate striker. No, sorry, not accurate, active striker, and accurate as well. He likes to make the fights wild. He likes to get in close. He likes to rip his combinations. He's a good grappler. He submitted Bryce Mitchell. Arnold Allen, on the other hand, he's 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off a long layoff. It's been, I think, either 16 or 18 months since he last fought. Middle of 2024. That was a win against Giga Chikadze, bouncing back from a 2-fight loss streak to Max Holloway and Movsar Evloev. He's never been finished, so I don't think Gene Silva finishes him. I think that Gene Silva wins this one by decision. He's the harder hitter. He's the better grappler. He's more active on the feet. If this fight gets wild, that's where Gene Silva thrives. That's where he wants it to be. The more boring that this fight is, that favors Arnold Allen. If he can stay on the outside, use his jab, move around, maybe land a takedown or two. He is a good grappler, so like he can land some takedowns, but the Gene Silva jiu-jitsu, that I don't know. I don't know how this plays out on the ground, but I think that Gene Silva wins this one by decision. All right, next up, we got Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Natalia Silva's a minus 335 favorite. Rose Namajunas is a plus 270 underdog. Silva is 19-5-1 on a 13-fight win streak, unbeaten in the UFC. She's fought some good competition. Her debut is against Jasmine Jasudavicius. That's a very tough opponent to have in your debut. She's also beat Alexa Grasso and Jessica Andrade, so she's got a good resume. Those 5 losses are a little bit deceptive. They are all come very early in her career and the draw as well. She's really improved in her career. She's still young. She's entering her prime. Versus Rose Namajunas, who is a former champion, obviously winning it back. I believe 2-time champion, winning it back in spectacular fashion against Wei Li, with that head kick, and losing it in the opposite fashion, the most boring fight possible against was it Esparza? Yeah, Esparza. So Rose, she's 3-2 in her last 5. She's coming off a shorter layoff. I believe it's about 6 months. Silva's coming off a 10-month or so layoff. She's had some bad performances recently. I'm gonna go with Silva on this one. I can see her getting it done. Using her kicks, using that open stance, that left kick to the body, moving around at range. I'm gonna go with Silva on this one. All right, and in the featured fight of the night, we got Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. Waldo Cortez Acosta, pretty big favorite, minus 330. Derek Lewis, a plus 240 underdog. In this fight, Waldo, he's a more active fighter inside the octagon. He's more defensively sound. He moves around on the feet a lot more. He works the jab. He works the high guard. He uses his counters. He's primarily a boxer, but he's not afraid to mix it up, clinch, make it dirty. All these things are good against Derek Lewis. He's going to need to do it. Obviously, we saw Derek Lewis get knocked out with a big elbow by Tai Tuivasa in the clinch. So if he can get inside, work the clinch, land some elbows, stay safe, use that high guard, Derek Lewis is not going to dip to the body. He's Derek Lewis. He's not going to throw any kicks. He's just going to throw some nukes. Actually, in my notes for the fight, I have Waldo Cortez Acosta needs to jiggle and jab at range, and Derek Lewis's path to victory is to fluke a nuke over him. So I think that kind of sums up the fight. But to get a little bit more technical, in his fight against Ante Delija, one thing that worried me for Waldo Cortez Acosta is he backed straight up a lot and got put against the cage and just sat there with his high guard looking to counter with his combinations. If one of those shots that he's trying to counter off get through by Derek Lewis, you're going to sleep. You're not really you got to be a lot more worried about Derek Lewis's power than you do about Ante Delija's. So he can implement that strategy, but it's very risky. One thing I like to say is don't think a person's going to fight how you want them to fight. Look at how they fought in the past. The fighters don't often make adjustments that you think they would. So if I was Waldo Cortez Acosta or his coaches, I wouldn't back straight up and have a high guard against the fence, but he has done that in the past a few times, and that worries me. If a shot gets through from Derek Lewis, that will put you out. That's really all he has to worry about. You don't have to worry about anything else when it comes to Derek Lewis. He opened with a flying knee one time. He's thrown some jumping switch kicks against Talashin Teixeira, but that's not his game. You got to worry about the power. I think Acosta can get it done. I think he can stay on the distance, jiggle and jab at range, like I said. He's responsible with his hands. I don't see Derek Lewis finishing him to the body at all. I don't think Derek Lewis has ever dropped someone to the body. So, like I said, if I was Derek Lewis, I would try and dip down when Acosta has that high guard, but I don't expect to see that. I could see Acosta finishing him in the second. Derek Lewis might take some damage, and he has quit in the past, so I got Acosta by finish. Next up is the co-main event of the evening, Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. Sean O'Malley, a minus 220 favorite. Yadong, a plus 186 underdog. Sean's a little bit older, obviously coming off a 2-fight loss streak, both to Merab. Submitting his last one, but didn't really take a lot of damage. Yadong, he's 3-2 in his last 5. Nope, sorry, that's O'Malley. Yadong is also 3-2 in his last 5. Sorry. Yudong, traditionally very inactive, fights once every 10 months or so, hasn't fought twice in a year in a long time. He's coming off another 10-month layoff. I'm gonna go with O'Malley in this one. I see him getting it done by decision. He's taller, he's longer, he's more accurate, he's higher output. His defense is better. He uses feints, he switches stances, he jabs at range. I think he has the most diverse strike arsenal. He probably throws the same strike twice in a row, like the least often. That doesn't really make sense. Like he switches it up often. He'll go from a jab to a knee. He'll switch stances. He'll throw a boxing combination. He'll throw a couple kicks inside, up top. It's really diverse. It's really hard to figure out. His jujitsu is also really underrated. As I talked about earlier, you'd say, "Oh, I think Song should shoot on him. He doesn't really have a chance on the feet." But he averages .6 takedowns around. Like, he's not gonna make that adjustment. People don't often make that adjustment. I would be very surprised to see him. He's primarily a striker. Um, Yadong, I saw him out at Quinnet Boxing, I think about a year ago. His combinations are sharp. He's very powerful. He's very fast. He keeps his guard kind of high, so I could see O'Malley landing a lot of toe stabs and body kicks. Um, Yadong also likes to go to the body a lot. If I was gonna give Yadong a chance to win, it would be finishing O'Malley to the body. But I don't think O'Malley's gonna get hit by those big shots. He's gonna move laterally. He's gonna be defensively sound. He's gonna keep it a technical fight. He'll stay away. He's got a 5-inch reach advantage. He uses it very well, better than a lot of fighters do. Yadong's chances are to get on the inside, land some elbows, make it dirty, shoot. And he doesn't really do that a lot, I haven't seen that too much in his previous fights, so I don't really think he has the tools to get it done. Um, and O'Malley's chin is really good. He's never been finished. He ate huge shots from Yan, who I imagine Yadong hits harder, but, if he's eating shots from Yan, sorry, then I imagine he could take the shots from Yadong. O'Malley, he likes to keep the stance open too. I noticed in the Peter Yan fight, anytime that Yan would switch stances, O'Malley would switch stances as well to try and keep it open while Yan was trying to close it. I'm not sure if he's gonna do that in this fight. Yadong switches stances much less than Yan, so you know. Um, and I don't remember if I said it, sorry if I did, but O'Malley's jiu-jitsu is really good. So if Yadong is able to get a takedown, then I don't really see him being able to do much with it. O'Malley's get-ups are pretty good, especially in the Peter Yan fight. He used the arm bar to get up, and he shrimps in very well to get out of side control. I just don't see how Yadong gets it done. I think it's either Yadong by finish or O'Malley by decision, and I don't see Yadong getting the finish, so I'm going to take O'Malley by decision for this one. And last but not least, we have the main event of the evening, 5 rounds for the interim lightweight championship, Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. I'm very back and forth with this one. Earlier, I was thinking Pimblett was going to win, but I'm going to go with Gaethje, who is a plus 186 underdog. Pimblett, he has the reach advantage. He's quite a bit younger. But Justin Gaethje, well, he is 37. He's not washed up by any means. He's still very, very, very good. He is getting better, actually, I think. He's in his recent fights, like, obviously the Max fight was a war, but the fight against Dustin in the rematch, very technical from him, and the Fiziev ones. He's a very, very technical fighter. He always was, but especially now. He's much less reckless. He uses his jabs. He uses his feints. He uses his low kicks to maintain the distance. He gets hit a lot less. One thing that does worry me is he dips his head a lot entering and exiting. He likes to feint the body jab and drops his right hand while dipping to the right. I don't know if Paddy will be able to capitalize on that, but it is something that worries me. He's there for a big left knee or a big head kick, and Pimblett does have a very diverse striking array. His worst assets, I would say, is his boxing, both offensively and defensively. Everyone knows he keeps his hands low. He keeps his chin up. He gets hit a lot. And Justin Gaethje, he hits hard. He does have a few knockouts. It has been quite a while. I think his power might be just a touch overrated, but even then, you can't sit there and get pieced up on the chin by Justin Gaethje for 5 rounds. I think he's gonna wear him. I think Gaethje is gonna wear down Paddy Pimblett with the low kicks, with the combinations. Uh, yeah, I mean, Pimblett's good. He's very underrated. He's 23-3. He's 5-0 in his last 5. One thing I noticed is he seems to match his opponent's footwork. So he was very light in his feet against Bobby Green or King Green or whatever, and he was very planted and static versus Michael Chandler, who is a more plotty fighter. So I don't know what kind of footwork he's going to come out with, but I don't like that he keeps his chin up. I don't think the things that he used to beat Michael Chandler are going to work against Justin Gaethje. He used a lot of kicks. He used a lot of counter wrestling. Neither of these guys shoot a lot of takedowns. I mean, you could see Justin Gaethje point 0.1 takedowns averaged versus not even one for a Paddy Pimblett. If Paddy Pimblett were to win, the way I see it is that he would rock Justin Gaethje and then jump for a sub, jump a ghillie, jump a triangle, maybe trip him or sweep him off of a knockdown and then submit him on the ground. I don't see Pimblett winning a decision, and he might knock out Justin Gaethje. Like, Justin Gaethje is chinny, don't get me wrong. He's been wobbled in almost every fight. He's been knocked out quite a few times. Obviously, that one against Max, but earlier in his career as well, when he entered the UFC. And I believe he did have a few knockout losses before he got to the UFC as well. With that being said, as I said earlier, I do see Justin Gaethje getting it done by decision. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and enjoy the fights. I will be doing a recap of the fights tomorrow, so look out for that.